Yo,
Hmm?
yo.
Yeah, I'm still here.
No, no, I was trying to make sure I could actually hear you.
Oh, okay.
The countdown is on.
I know. I'm watching.
Oh, damn. Chat is already live.
Apparently.
Say, hey, bro, yesterday there's green players. Summon 3, I enjoyed the turn. 5. Yo, yeah, that card gotta go.
Twitch chat's up, but I can't see the YouTube chat though.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Until my screen is up and running, you won't be able to see it.
Mm.
Yo, you on the Discord right now?
I'm in your chat on the PlayStation, so that's where you're hearing me right now, and then I'm Twitch.
What will be easier to text you right now, the Discord or regular message? I gotta text you something real quick.
Okay.
Through a Discord or regular message? What's up?
I guess the WhatsApp would probably be the easiest. I don't know. Oh, I'm gonna have fun today.
Yo. That's what I saw. I was like, oh, nah, let me hit him up on the side so he can see what I'm talking about. Hilarious. It was turn 6 and he already be at 10 to 11 energy. Yo, that's crazy. That means he had a great hand. He said, one of the dudes said that he was playing androids. Yesterday, this green player summoned 3 androids, turned like 5 or 4. That card needs to go. And your number needs to get regulated. It was turn 6 and he already had 10 to 11 energies. Your man had a perfect hand then.
Yeah, he had the god hand. Like sometimes that happens.
For real. Small numbers, I'm there. There goes Jeremy.
And he's on the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
All right.
Yo, mic check, mic check.
Testing,
Yo,
testing.
yo, yo, mic check,
125.
mic check.
Testing, testing.
Alright. Yeah, yo, welcome back to my channel, people. There's the last Snow. You can call me Snow for short. And I'm doing the stream with my boy OmegaZed. You could definitely follow him on YouTube as well. We're both on YouTube, you know, from Fusion World to One Piece to Gundam, even Masters. If you guys are interested in any of those card games, you can definitely hit OmegaZed. And for me, it's just Fusion World for right now until Gundam is officially out. But welcome back to my channel. If you're watching us on YouTube, welcome. If you're watching me on Twitch, welcome as well. Today, our stream is all about the tier list that we think it is so far. We're going to break down every bracket so you guys can understand where we're coming from. And yeah, so if you guys are new to my channel, press that follow button, subscribe to my channel, and let's get this stream on the go. OmegaZed, introduce yourself, my brother.
What's up, everyone? I'm OmegaZed. I am a card player of many, many years. I've been playing since the 1990s. I'm an OG. So I'm a veteran card player. Multiple games, multiple tops in all of these games. And when I'm saying like multiple tops, I'm talking like the physical card game. I know that a lot of people come to you because they play on the client, but I come with a large plethora of knowledge of actual card games, and Fusion World happens to be the one where we kind of like to flow together on and come to terms and say, this is what's good, what's not. And we have a large group that, we got our own little chat and we bounce ideas off of and we play. And here we are. We're coming to terms now that the set is actually out and there has been some events. We've been playing in the anniversary events, so we got some data on how some of these decks are doing. And, maybe give you some insight onto some other decks that are just as good.
Yeah. That's for sure. And I feel like this set right now is definitely well balanced compared to every other set, because they came out with a lot of support for the old and the new leaders. So I'm definitely interested to see how people start building their decks towards set 5 and see how it goes. For the past, I only been out for a couple of days now. And
Yeah, it's been out for a weekend and change-ish. The set came out on February 14th. We had events right away. We had pre-release events the prior week. and we had an anniversary event starting this past weekend, and the game's interesting. I think this is probably the most power crept set we've had since the inception of the game. I think it has changed a lot in terms of what decks are good, how we deck build, and it's also kind of forced a hand for people who have been holding on to like really old leaders to finally like, hey, we got to put this one down and move towards some new ones.
Yeah. Yo, what's up, Jerry? My man Jay in the building. All right, so we're gonna start off with breaking down the brackets, so you guys can understand how the brackets go. So the first one on top is BDIC, is the best deck in the color. I'm correct, right?
Yeah, this is the best deck in the color. Um, Not necessarily going to be in the order I feel is the best deck in the meta, but it is a 5-color game. Each color has a deck that definitely performs the most consistent over all the other ones. So if you're going to play a particular color and you're trying to think about what deck is probably the best deck for that color, that's what's going to go in this tier. Keep in mind it's probably not going to be in any type of like power order. We're just going to put it up there like if you're playing this color, if it's green, it's this deck. If it's yellow, it's this deck. It's not necessarily going to be in any order. We got to wait till like actual regionals come out. But we're coming from the knowledge that like of the card pool, of the leaders that are in this game, this is the best deck in that particular color.
Yeah. So we're gonna break it down into colors. We're not gonna do leader by leader, so like that people don't think that these are. We're setting the brackets up as one leader is better than the other because it's behind them. We're just basically doing it top tier for the BDIC, and then everything down from there will most likely be in a Pacific order, right?
Yeah, so like for competitive events, these are the decks. This is where we're actually gonna put them in order. Like this is probably the better deck of the higher tier events. If you're going to a regional, these are the decks that you should take. This particular um, bracket is going to have them in an order like that we feel you should take this deck over others. And we kind of split that up into competitive events. And when we say events, we're talking about regionals, or if you have an area, if you're in an area that has a lot of high school players, you can consider like the anniversary event or the ultimate battles. You can consider that an event, so to speak. This is a deck that you should probably take. It should help you win or at least top. And then we have competitive locals. If you're going to like a regular local, these are decks that are good. They can probably win a local, maybe get a top at a regional event. But it depends on pilot deck build. There's a lot of factors that go into that. But that's what you're gonna find here. And then we have the really casual bracket. These are the decks that they're good. They're just not quite there yet. I wouldn't recommend taking these to a local unless you have an absolutely casual local. And even then, I probably still don't think you should play the deck. But there's definitely decks that you should not play. And that's what we have for the please stay at home tier. This is the deck. Like, just don't bring this anywhere. Don't even sleeve this up. Don't even put it in your binder. Throw it in the trash. Like, like just don't play this. Don't
and if
play
they
this
do
deck.
get support, they probably still be in that bracket of please stay home.
Yeah. So we're not gonna spend too much time on a lot of these leaders. We got like almost over 30 leaders in the game now. So what we're gonna do right now is we're just gonna take the trash out, so to speak. These are the decks that just suck. Do not put this way. So right off the bat, please stay at home. Daima Starter Vegeta
Yes,
goes
for a
in there.
fact.
That just throw him in there. Like he goes in there automatically. This is a deck.
Definitely.
Don't even like look at this deck. Don't even look at this leader. Like don't even read what he does. He just sucks. He's trash. It's garbage.
Because
Just leave it alone.
you could build a deck, but if your leader don't got the support for it, it's horrible. Like how you gonna bottom deck one drops only when the minute they start dropping the 5 and a 6 costs, what are you gonna do? You're gonna summon like 3 4 bodies just to minimize a body to one, then to bottom deck it. That's horrible.
Yeah, it's just trash. Like this leader is just garbage.
Yeah.
Um, I guess do we want to go by like color order or?
Well, since we started with Vegeta, I guess we could start with blue.
Okay, so
Then
we'll start with blue. We'll go with the best deck in blue right now. And that's gonna be Fused Zamasu.
Yeah, I
This leader
definitely
is ridiculously strong. It got one of the best printed cards in this set. That new 4-drop
hmm
Zamasu, putting him at 30k for your turn and your opponent's turn is just super strong. You can even loop it with the 2-drop Goku from set 1. Then you can use the Vegeta Candy if they manage to get bypass that Goku and put it in the drop, but then you just Vegeta Candy to put it back in your hand, and then you play him, and then you just make your leader 30k for like infinite turns. It's super strong. Um, the leader's a tank. He's 25k on the Awakened side.
yeah.
Like, there's just a lot of good stuff that goes into this deck. It is super defensive, and it can play aggressive cards with the secret rares because it stalls out long enough to get the 5 anyway. It's just a really strong deck. It is definitely the best deck in blue. If you were to go to any event with a blue deck, this is one that I would highly recommend. You learn, you test. It is just super good.
Yeah, and Zamasu definitely plays the long game to the point that your opponent might probably run out of resources because this that deck is
It
just
just sits
plays
there
so
and plays like
slow.
a card a turn. Like, it's like I'm gonna play this one card, leave energy open for my Gallic Guns and my Proud Sage, and just defend until I get like boss monsters.
Yeah, you just
It's
gotta have to
ridiculous.
calculate your swings because if you don't calculate your swing, he's just gonna just basically just combo out and just stay awakened. I mean,
Hmm.
just stay just at 8 life and then you're already awakened and you haven't even touched him not even once or twice. That's just full amount of pressure that he can actually go. Cause he could go on the defensive, and then if he goes aggro, then you're basically screwed up. Yo, Super Saiyan One. Appreciate the follow.
As a Zamasu player, my goal is for my opponent to just get up and leave. Yo, that's
Yeah,
a good goal. Like, some decks do that, man. Like, it's
trust me. And on the client, yo, I went to play back to back Zamasus, and I swear to God, the matchups. If we was playing with a timer on locals, I think I would have lost because both matches passed 35 minutes. Like that was
yeah.
horrible. It was horrible. Zamasu
The
plays the long game, and it's a 25k swinger too. And you got to swing
Yep.
for 25 and over. Oh my God, that's just incredible. That deck is just too
Yeah.
strong.
Goku Black Tier Zero. Nah, Goku Black. I'm sorry, bro, but like, this deck is just it needs a lot more. I would put Goku Black in locals tier. If you want to play this at a local, by all means, go ahead. Understand that you are on a dice roll and you are praying to the RNG gods.
The casual, or
I don't.
the competitive locals.
I'll put this in casual. I would not bring this deck to a local. Like, it just.
Like I get where they're going with the archetype and the support, but
Yeah.
I
The
feel like it's
the
still
problem is
missing.
there's just not enough Zamasus that are worth playing to really get the effect off.
Yeah, he
Um.
has the gas, but he just runs out of it, and that's the
Yeah.
problem. You just burn your
Like,
hand out by the time you awaken.
yeah. So the thing is, this is a deck where, like, if you open God tier and you have the high roll, yes, you will win. But at a competitive local, if your local has a lot of like really good players, like our locals does, like we have some of the best players in the game in our locals. New York locals are probably some of the sweatiest locals ever.
Yeah,
You're not gonna bring Goku Black and have a good time. Like, it's just not gonna be fun for you. Um,
it's definitely not.
that's not fun.
Sorry to
But
say,
if you're
they
gonna
got
play
good.
blue and you feel like you may not have the or don't want to hurt your head playing Zamasu, then you might want to bang your head against the wall and play Satan City Son Goku, Deadku, Halo Ku. He's got a million names. The leader that draws two. I would put the Goku in competitive events. This is probably still another one of the great blue decks in the game. It
Yep.
didn't get any support in set 5, but it doesn't need it because the deck is just so damn good. Like, it's just good off rip. The only thing that's going to help this deck is power creep over time, and we're not there yet. It's probably going to take another couple of sets before we start to see this deck really dwind down.
And
Um,
it only took 2 sets to make that deck strong because once that leader came out, nobody was playing it, didn't have the support, and it only took 2 cards for the following set to make this deck strong. And it's just nothing but small numbers, just manipulating your board, and he starts swinging crazy.
yeah,
And that's the right now that's the only aggressive blue leader that they got right now because Zamasu can go aggressive, but I feel like um Deku actually go is the most aggressive out of all the blue leaders.
Yeah. Staying with the competitive events, I think Vegito also goes into this category.
Hmm.
There's a lot of different builds that you can do with the new blue Vegito. You can focus on the straight aggro and just, you awaken early and then you just punish your opponent with a bunch of like low to the ground, 2, 3, 4 drop guys. You don't even play any secret rares because you don't really need to. It has a crit engine with the 2 drop Vegeta crit. You have the Goku and the Vegeta combo to just threaten double strike out of the blue. There's just so many paths that this deck can take. It's going to be one of those that you definitely have to pay attention to. Like, there's even some vanilla builds that are popping up with the Videl that just summons vanillas, and you just go straight aggro. Like, you just swing it with 40k and a bunch of, vanilla 30ks because the Videl summoned them. So many paths for this deck. So this is one that you definitely have to watch out for. It's really good. It's definitely a high risk, high reward deck.
Yeah,
But if you build it right, it rewards you so well. You don't even have to focus on the full mill. You can just go on a partial mill, get to 20, and then you just play the rest of the game. There's even builds that don't even run super combos. They just run a bunch of 10Ks, and they're like, I'm just going to, throw these guys into your face. It's such a good deck.
yeah, and having a leader swinging at 40, you better get ready to start protecting yourself because
Yeah.
you could probably just take those the first two swings. Then after that, you gotta start applying pressure to your opponent because if you don't, you're gonna end up losing. On Japan, the meta is dead cool. Joy's Boo, the top tier. Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, that was like last format. Like set 5 has changed the game.
Yeah,
Japan also isn't the best example for a lot of the meta because they just play really, really, really weird
yeah, they play weird.
decks.
They play technical compared to us. We
They,
play
they
more
they're
like aggressive.
they're also notorious cheaters. I saw that Janemba list that played the Majin Buu package. I don't know what was going on there. That does not work.
But
Majin Buu,
it works over
like
there for some odd reason.
it works over there somehow, but like whatever. I'm just saying. Continuing on with blue though, I would
Started.
put this one a little ahead over Vegito, and that's the starter Vegeta. Set 1 starter. So the
Mhm.
reason why is because in a game that has RNG, like Vegito relying too much on the RNG kind of hurts. And you want to play decks that are a lot more consistent and do the thing that they do on a much more consistent basis. Sure, once you awaken, you're threatening 40k, but you run the risk of milling like really, really good cards. Whereas in a deck like Vegeta, I can just draw those cards anyway, and then once I'm awakened to do my skill, I'm 35, so like the 5k is negligible, and then you just run really good blue cards. You don't run the risk of having them milled. You're able to see them, you're able to summon them, and you don't have to wait for like the perfect scenario to get it off. This might be interchangeable. Maybe someone figures out what's good with Vegito. It's just that right now, with my personal testing between the two decks, I just like Vegito more because it's consistent and I don't run the risk of milling my super combos.
Yeah, and then at the same time, he got a couple of cards actually for this deck, like the new Goku Black. That if you have 7 or less in your hand, I think he goes up to 30k swing on a 3 cost. That's not bad. Applying
Yeah, it's really
pressure,
good
and then
stuff.
that's 30k. And then if your Vegeta's already awakened and you're only at 7, that's a 35k swing. So you can really start applying pressure to your opponent that he's gonna start burning super combos early. So people, it's I feel like it's definitely still strong. Like yeah,
Hmm.
it's true what you said with the whole Vegito. A lot of people wants Vegito to be on top, but right now it's just too many deck profiles that people is actually building that they nothing is concrete. Like we only know probably like about what 4 or 5 staple cards that belongs in that deck. But then after that, what are you playing? Because you could definitely put yourself in a position that you just gas out because everything is already in the discard pile, and then what? Like it's a hit or miss when it comes to that later. So it's like,
For sure.
yeah.
Um,
What's the next
who are we
one?
missing? We're
Trunks.
missing Sun Gohan and Trunks. So yeah, so Trunks is in a bit of a weird spot because like his effect is really good, but it was good for an early meta, and I feel like Trunks is one of those leaders that has definitely been power crept out. He's definitely in need of support. I think there's still a list out there that could work, but for now, I think I would just probably try him out in like the competitive local area. He's definitely better than Goku Black, but I don't think he's a casual deck. I just think that it still needs to be tweaked on how Trunks can approach the meta. I just
Mm-hmm.
don't think he's quite there yet. There's the other decks that we've discussed that are in the top brackets. They're just better than Trunks right now. They've got more support. They're more consistent. That doesn't mean Trunks is bad. I feel like we haven't figured out what his game plan is. He hasn't really gotten a lot of support since like set two, maybe. Like there's been occasionally good three drops, but like at the most part, you want to bounce back your opponent's cards, not your own. It just doesn't feel right now. But he's not bad. I still think like there's a case for Trunks to be a really aggressive low to the ground blue deck. There's just better, really aggressive low to the ground blue decks in the game right now.
Yeah, and he's still relevant because at the same time, most of these decks are being built by three cost, and he's just gonna continue bouncing them once per turn, and that's gonna become a problem. So
Yeah.
I feel like he's still definitely good. Next we still got
We still got the Sun
U7
Gohan.
and the Sun
We have
Gohan.
the
So the Sun Gohan we could do now. The Sun Gohan.
Yeah, the Sun Gohan deck is really fun. Like I said on the last video that we did with tier list, I mentioned that there's a build of Sun Gohan with the Saiyan City engine.
Yeah,
But at this point in the game, if you're gonna play a Satan City deck, you're gonna play the leader that sets up the engine a lot better. But if you want to try out something different and be a little fancy and have something that still does work, there is a build out there. I personally wouldn't play it right now just because other decks have gotten stronger. But Gohan's still there. I would keep him casual for now, just over Goku Black. Um, just because like if you're gonna play a Satan City engine deck, Halo Crew's just the better leader for that engine. But if you want to be fancy and try something different with a little bit of a different build, uh, Gohan's there. I would just put him over Goku Black. I don't think I would bring him to a local um, in any capacity, just because like the other leaders are just more consistent.
this is crazy how many blue leaders we got. Yo, we really, and it's only been a year, and we got a
Yeah,
lot of leaders. We got a lot of leaders
there's
to deal with.
some would say there's almost too many.
Yeah, it's true. It is definitely true. Um, Last but not,
I think that's all of them, all the blue.
let's see. Oh, I was saying U7, and I'm thinking of red. My bad. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, from what it
All
looks
right.
like, yeah, that's definitely it.
Yeah, so this is blue. Best deck in blue is Zamasu. Contenders, you have Satan City Goku, you have Vegeta, and you have Vegito. Those are probably the four best decks in blue right now.
Hmm.
Just don't play Daima Vegeta. Like that, that's just a bad deck.
Don't
Like
even
unless you
buy
want to
it.
go,
Don't even buy the starter deck to get just the two cards that you need
yeah.
from there. It's not even worth it.
Like even if they did like a starter deck only tournament, I would tell you not to play this guy. Like no.
Uh-uh. And that's another thing I want to do too. Have like a just a starter deck tournament to see how I actually, well, what deck will actually come out on top. Because some of them are kind of interesting.
Yeah. Since we touched on red, let's move into red right now. Um, let's go
Starter
with
cool,
the.
starter cool.
I mean, Startaku's he's okay. I would probably put him casual right now. The U7 stuff um just hasn't really like gotten a lot of support. It was a great leader set one. I think like he was just power crept immediately as we got better red leaders in the game. I
Yeah,
would definitely put him over the two in casual because I would say that Startaku is definitely better than Goku Black and it's definitely better than Sun Gohan. And
yeah,
again,
that,
that's just because Red's card pool is just so ridiculously good. And that's even more so than like when we look at the Daima League between starter Daimaku and Daimaku 2 from set 5 now. Um, if we're talking about the best of the best in red deck, we can go ahead and put that new Daimaku leader all up to BDIC. If you're playing a red deck, this is the deck. This is the leader you play. Um, it's a cheap deck. It's wildly aggressive. You cap out on 4-drop Glorio and the 5-drop Daima Goku double strike, and your opponent just cries as their life just goes into their hand, and then like you're just trying to defend from a weenie onslaught, to then lose to like Glorio that makes your leader smaller. He attacks twice, and then if your opponent follows up with another Glorio, your hands in your face, and you cry.
Yeah, and
Um,
then, that's the leader that you don't even need to run the six drop. Six drop doesn't
no,
even matter to have being on deck, even though a lot of people uses it and it still does damage. But that zero cost will might cost you the game
yeah,
in one of these tournaments. So yeah, I don't really feel like the six cost should be in this deck.
like you can go either. I just think that the deck is meant to be an aggressive strategy, which is why I personally wouldn't run six drop. I would definitely top out on the double strike though. But again, that remains to be seen. You know, we'll see what the meta develops. But this Red Daimoku leader is just really good. It's amazing how just out of the gate good he was.
Yeah,
And
um,
then the other Daimoku isn't, as bad. I would still take this one to a regional level event. Um,
definitely, because they playing the same thing.
it's
Just the
it's
difference is
almost the
that
same stuff. Yeah,
you're not
it's
getting
just
the
this.
10,000, but you getting the 5K plus the minus 5K
Yeah.
to your opponents. That's
If you
definitely
if
good.
you like to play the mid-range red game, this is the leader that you play with. If you're trying to do like the whole mid-range and prolong it and try to like wear your opponent down over time, um, I would probably put him just behind Satan City Goku and ahead of Vegeta and Vegito, mostly because Vegeta and Vegito just haven't really been proven yet at a major event. But
Yeah.
I still think that they're good. So I would put Red ahead of them, right there. Yep, that's good. Um, it's a toss up between Satan City and him, like which one's the better deck. I just think that if you're playing the bottom deck stuff, that just kind of curbs Red a little bit. But Red just got a bunch of new tools, and it's just like Red just keeps getting good cards.
Yeah, that's definitely a fact. Top cool, where you at?
Uh, I'll
Oh
put
man.
Top Cool and Casuals. There's still he's still a good leader. It's just the battle cards just haven't been kind to him. He lost the best thing that he had, which was the double strike Ribian. But the rest of the engine is still relevant. There's just better leaders, you know. Um, U7 Goku is still pretty good. I will put that in competitive locals over Trunks. Um,
U7 Goku.
I think he's still down in. I don't know where you put him.
I put him on casual. He's the first one on casual.
Nah,
U7.
bump him up a little bit. He's still good. Bump him up. Give that
In
man
front of
some respect.
yeah.
Yeah, give that
So he
man some
goes.
respect. He goes over Trunks.
Yeah, that's. So Top cool will go behind Goku Black, right? I don't know. I don't.
Maybe over Goku Black. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Top Coup.
because if we match up the card pool, I feel like Red has more of a breaking point compared to
Yeah,
Goku. It's Goku Black, man. To zero, literally.
yeah, negative 50 maybe, but he's still better. He's still better than Starter Daima Vegeta. That's for
Yeah, that's for sure. Next up,
While we're
UI.
here, there's the um
What you want to do next?
the UI Red Goku that awakens at 3 life. That
Yeah,
one, yeah, I would put him. God, I don't even like this leader. Like,
I. I don't know.
I think he's a good local deck, but that's probably about it. I just don't know where if I would put him ahead of Trunks or behind Trunks. I think we'll just put him in that category and figure it out later. Um,
I don't know.
I definitely,
When it comes to UI, I don't. I'm not sure. Because if both decks goes toe to toe, you already know that deck actually runs a lot of three drops, so Trunks will actually have the advantage of just keep bouncing back everything, and especially with beat off still in play. I just
yeah. I just don't think the that leader has enough gas. The UI Red, I just don't think the gas is there. I
and like
just
some of these leaders are playing staples from other decks, and it's like it doesn't have its own image. That's how it
yeah,
was when Bardock and SS4 Goku came out. That we couldn't
they
even
were
tell the
basically the same
difference.
deck.
Yeah, basically the same deck, just one is swinging for 20 and the other one is swinging for 25, basically.
Yeah, for sure. I guess
Yo,
that leaves
Axel,
Beerus.
appreciate the follow.
I guess that leaves Beerus in red, and I think this is just a general issue with all the crit leaders right now, is that they've all kind of been power crept out to a degree. I think Beerus is still probably one of the two better crit leaders that are in the game right.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go over the second one in just a moment. The rest of them just aren't that good right now. Uh,
After Beerus, still
the
got Jaren.
Yeah, Jiren is definitely a case of how the mighty have fallen. Every deck has a way to deal with its 4-drop now. So like I I think Jiren goes to like locals. Like if you want to be funny and try to keep it at a local level, Jiren and Beerus probably go into that competitive local. Um they're kind of interchangeable in a way, just because they both almost do the same thing.
Yeah.
Just in
It's just Beerus. It just get annoying with Beerus because Beerus have that negging 1,000, then the little small bodies negging you 5,000 and all that nonsense, and then you got the 3-drop Beerus that could swing with, and then use a special effect to summon the 5-drop, and then just discard a card to just break the board. That's what I like. That 3 cost is what's making Beerus still like competitive. Because without that, I
yeah,
felt like it's still using staples from other cards, and it's just gonna die out sooner or later, like UI did. But because
yeah,
of
for
that three
sure.
drop, it was actually still strong. And Jiren, I still feel like Jiren is good. This is they're just coming out with support for Jiren that makes unnecessary. It's like unnecessary cards like that. You already got the 4-drop Jiren, right? That does the whole
Hmm.
protection. But then you want to
You had
sub.
the 6-drop.
Then you got the 6-drop that practically does almost the same thing, and there's another 0 combo. Like it makes no sense to be creating these cards. Like Jiren needs support, but don't give him 0 combo support because you're just gonna destroy the deck as strong as what it is.
Sure. Jeremy said do green next. You know what? We're gonna appease the chat. We'll do green next. I
Yeah, we
think we're
do.
done with red at this point, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That's all the
yeah, yeah.
red leaders.
Let's
Let's just go off the rip. Piccolo. I know everyone's wondering what about Piccolo. Piccolo has
Piccolo.
actually upgraded a bit. This set actually helped Piccolo out a lot. And I would put Piccolo in competitive locals because he's actually grown up from staying at home to getting out of the house and saying, I'm tournament ready. Almost. He's not quite there yet, but there's a lot of good cards that came out in this set for him that have given him a definite bump. And I guess maybe he's gonna have maybe some more support in the next set where we'll finally see where they go with this deck. Or if they end it, then yeah, he just stays where he's at. But Piccolo's not bad. Like he went from being one of the worst leaders in the game to someone that's actually pretty decent. He's definitely a mid-tier leader right now. There's some fun to be had with this guy.
Yeah, and I just put him where I put him at now because it's
Yeah,
super bad. But
like that's fine.
I definitely feel like he lands in between U7 and Trunks. We,
Maybe. Yeah, I think he's in between there. That seems like a good spot.
Yeah, I don't feel like it surpasses U7 because if U7 goes aggro because his U7 awakened side gives you the 5K across the board, then that's applying a lot of pressure that Piccolo might not be ready
For
for,
sure.
especially all those
Hmm.
small bodies and just 15K swings turn to 20K swings and then you're just done for. So yeah,
Yep.
I felt like Piccolo definitely did not that much of a boost, but he definitely got somewhat of a boost.
Yeah, but you know who has suffered the most? The early leaders in green. So if
Yeah,
you wanna start building up this casual list, you can go ahead and say Broly, Sun Gohan, and Cell right into the casual list. These guys need so much support right now. It's not
nah,
even funny. They used to be like some of the strongest decks in the game. But again, like I said, set five is definitely the set that has power crept this game the most, and it has dropped these once top contenders to lower tiers just because the new green stuff is just better. And while we're here, as much as it hurts me to do this, you can put green Vegeta and stay home. Um,
Green Vegeta. Yeah,
yeah,
we really thought he was gonna get support, and he really didn't
he really
at
didn't, and
all.
that just kind of knocked him down. And then like if you look the meta right now, the entire meta just really destroys this deck. He's definitely better than Blue Vegeta. I have it sleeved up. I don't bring this out in tournaments. I literally will only play this deck in like a super fun, non-local, casual game where I know I'm gonna lose the game regardless. So like,
Am I
it's
going
some.
crazy the way I got this casual setup? I got it as go on first, Cell, Top Cool, Goku Black. I don't know where this Brawly and because I feel like Brawly
I
and
think I
Gohan plays the same cards. There's nothing different. It's
so
just one is
Brawley and
25.
Gohan do play the same cards. We know that the set has Broly in the art, so maybe this is where Green Broly gets, another wave. Um,
Unless that Brawly comes out in a different color.
yeah, that's the other thing too. We
That's
don't
the
know.
only.
The decks just haven't really gotten a lot of support. The formats being what they were, for like the first three sets, kind of helped keep them relevant. And then as we got more support in four and more support in five, they just lost their relevancy.
Yeah,
Um,
I need Cell
Cell though,
support, man. Yeah, Cell needs support,
Cell,
man. It's just they just coming out. Cell support becomes Android support. That's the problem.
yeah. And while we're talking about androids, no surprise here. Androids is the best green deck. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Until they do something about the four drop android, this deck is going to continue to dominate. It ramps. It has boss monsters that it can summon willy nilly. Like it's almost unfair how good this deck is in
You know,
green.
even
But
even
we finally have another contender in green, and that's the green Namek Goku right now. I think I would put him in competitive events. The deck is really strong. It has a really good end game for it. Um, it just remains to be seen if it can do it on that like high tier event level. I think it will, and that's why I'm putting him in competitive events. Uh, he's just look, he's just good.
yeah. And even going back to the Android 17, even if they come up with the limiting or banning the 8 drop Brawly, they could just replace that with the 8 drop cell that pops two off the board, and that still's doing damage. It doesn't really matter. He's just more dangerous. They balance it out. Just instead of Brawly popping one and then swinging twice, you're getting a body that pops two off the board to swing once. Practically is the same. You're just board breaking, but I tried the Nameku, whatever y'all want to call him, Namigoku, but his deck is definitely good. I'm just trying to. There's a lot of cards that you got to test out when it comes to that leader to see what fits in best. But I feel like that deck is definitely going to be dangerous and it's going to creep up in the tier list. We're just going to have to wait and see since it just came out.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely really strong. Being able to do the whole double strike crit like a bajillion K is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Um,
and then to some of your double strike at 3 goes crazy. Like, and if he stays on board, you could just summon another one for the 7 cost. It don't matter if you go down to 3. And it's just a lot. It's just.
yeah, it's just ridiculously strong.
Mhm. Uh, they
What's
talking
next?
about
We're down
black
to
next. They talking about black
black
next.
next. All right. Uh,
Best,
best deck in black. SS4.
best. Yeah,
SS4
I'm not
Goku.
hands down. I'm a Bardock fan, but SS4 got so much support this set and the previous set. It's just
Yeah,
hard to beat him. It's just hard.
he's been slowly getting up there, and it's just ridiculously strong. Baby Vegeta. I mean, he's definitely competitive events. I don't think he's the best black deck in the game though. I think SS4 has that beat a little bit,
But I do
just
feel
because of
like he
what it can
does
do.
creep up in the competitive events tier list though, because
Yeah, I would put him at like the top of competitive events. The deck is still strong. I just think SS4 is better.
yeah. Um, My favorite of all time, Bardock. Bardock needs to come out with some good support because right now he's basically using everybody else's staples
Yeah,
and it's pissing me off. But he's the
everyone else is getting the support, and Bardock's kind of like the John Travolta meme right now, where he's like moving his hand, like, "Where did I go?" Like, it's still a good deck. I think it's definitely between competitive events and competitive locals. This is your call. I would put him at the top of competitive locals. I don't think he's a deck that I would take to a regional, but I would still play him at like a high tier local event, an ultimate battle or anniversary events, or maybe even a store regional because you're dealing with less people at the store regionals. This deck is there.
yeah. Like as a Bardock fan, I definitely like the deck. But me going into regionals with the look, it's not even letting me put him there. It's telling me to put it.
It's
It's
already speaking for you.
it's, it's basically telling me to put it behind Jiren. I'm sorry, it's not gonna be behind Jiren. Oh, there you go. It literally was not letting me put it right on the top of the competitive locals. But I played a deck. It's definitely
just shove
strong.
him in there. There you go.
Yeah, I got him in there. But it's definitely a strong deck. But like I said, it's using a lot of staple cards that every other deck is using. But the staples fits better with other decks other than this. The only good thing about this leader is still the 25k swing. But besides that, that he does gets into points that he gets to struggle in certain matchups, which is kind of rough. That's what happened with Jiren, and that's why
Hmm.
Jiren is down there, and that's why Beerus is down there because those three decks was actually last set was actually in the competitive events or even on the top brackets, but where everybody else coming out with support, they just started to fall apart. So hopefully next set, they actually get the support that they need.
Yeah.
Last but not least is the Gogeta.
Yeah, so this is definitely a deck that has still yet to prove itself. I think the deck is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a deck that we will see at regionals just because the effects that it gains when you have the marker are really, really strong. It has a lot of really good battle cards. If you play it on theme, you can do the mid-range version with it, and it still works just as well. Um, I think it's a very capable leader. I would definitely put this in competitive events. Um, it's just a really strong leader. It's just one of those that has to like prove itself. So I would put it at the end of competitive events for now.
Yeah,
Um, that's
because
not to say that he might be worse than these. It's just we haven't really seen this deck pop up, at least from the data that we have.
a lot of
A
people are
lot of
still
local.
playing SS4 Goku. If they're not playing SS4 Goku, they playing the baby. So it's like, yeah, I understand. Like the three leaders that we got at the end of the competitive events, they're not guaranteed just sitting there. It's just we haven't seen much of it to actually say that that's where they belong. So yeah,
Yeah. So now we get down to yellow. We can go ahead and put Fat Boo and Please Stay Home.
yeah, I just can't. He definitely goes at the top of the please stay home though because
Yeah.
going wide, the two
It,
Vegetas at the
it,
bottom is just horrible. It's just horrible. And it's crazy to actually be Vegeta. Like, they're giving Goku all these leaders, and they are practically all the way going to the top, and Vegeta's just downgrading little by little.
it happens, it's just the nature of the game. Power creep is a thing that happens, which is why this is always an interchangeable thing. Someone might figure out some crazy piece of tech, and any of these decks can just be, way better. It could be something we didn't see coming.
Yeah.
Um, but
Next
yeah,
up, we can
going
actually
into
do
yellow,
Cooler.
uh, Cooler. So Cooler is one of the other crit leaders that has gotten decent support these last two sets. He got one card in set four, and then we got a bunch of really good yellow cards in this set. So like a lot of the yellow leaders definitely benefit from this set. Um, I just think there's other leaders that are better than Cooler. But Cooler definitely can be something that you would take to a local and it would still do well. So I would put him in competitive local. He's not terrible. There's
Yeah.
just better. There's just better decks. There's better leaders. I don't know
The,
where I would put him in competitive local, but I know where I would put the others. So I guess we can just leave him at the end of competitive locals.
yeah. Because he
He's
did
definitely
get
a lot of count.
support, but the thing with the support that they zero combos, like the King Cold to summon
Yeah,
another body zero combo, the barriers a zero combo. Like, yeah, you give it the that one drop Mech Frieza is kind of good. Search the top
yeah,
three, and then you get to that's definitely good. But it's giving him support, knowing that he don't got no combo power, like not that much combo power, and his draw power is not there. To give him so many zero combo, it kind of kills him. That's why he's actually basically
yeah.
at the back of the list.
And then
Um,
you have something like Ginyu, which
got
got a
so
bunch
much
of support
support.
this set for. I think Ginyu is probably like one of the sleeper yellow decks. I think people are just kind of holding back on him, not waiting. They're kind of waiting to see what he does. I will put him ahead of Cooler. Again, this is another unproven one, but this is definitely a deck I will play, especially if it's not like a sweaty logo. Um, like Ginyu's just really good. Spaceship plus Ginyu cards equals, beat face, super strong.
Yeah,
Um, yeah.
because right now, all the support that he got, like the Jace being a crit, Self Awaken is good. The Birder that you summon, rest the body on the board to apply pressure. The Raccoon, I think if you got two guys on the board that's Frieza Army, he gets a 5k boost, so now he's swinging for 25. Like those are the things that Ginyu really needed because going for 20k swing all day every day it wasn't gonna help. So now you're gonna be burning cards out your hand, but those
Yeah.
three cards actually help, even though they 5k combos. Because that's the thing that's I'm hating about yellow. That most of the best cards that's coming out is 5k combos, and when it comes to red, is zero combos. Like you're giving blue, green, and black the upper hand there. I ain't liking that. I wanna. They think we're not catching on to the strategy that they doing. All these
Yeah.
yellow leaders that's coming out with so much support, but they like 5k combos. Like it's horrible.
Yeah. Um, Before we get into this trifecta of yellow goodness, let's take care of the evil Majin Buu. I think this one is just straight up casual now. The only reason I mean it's casual is because all the new cards helped boost so many other yellow decks,
Hmm.
except him because he needs to run the theme basically, and he does not have the room to play all these good yellow cards. So that kind of hurts him a little bit. So I would put him at the top of casual, um, just because like the deck's really strong. I think he's better than most of the decks that we have in there.
And the what competitive locals?
Regular casual.
Regular casual. I give it to him to be the top of the casual list, honestly, because
Yeah.
Gohan, Gohan is just Gohan. Honestly, his
I
effect
mean,
don't really.
Gohan literally is just another Satan City leader, and we know how good the cards in Satan City are. But obviously, if you're gonna play Satan City, like you might as well just play Goku. Like
Yeah,
just play Goku.
because
Like
the
there's
thing is,
no other reason.
when Majin Buu came out on paper, it looked amazing with the summon double strike to the three drop Babidi to summon another card, the Majin Buu, then pop the Babidi. Now you discard a two card. Like that's a good method. But then when everything else came out, it's like that fell off because now everybody's doing the 30k swinger to swing 30k twice. So now you just forgot about manipulating your opponent's hand. It's just those are the only 2 point combo that Majin Buu Evil has. It's a good deck, but it's just that's all it has. It's just
Hmm.
manipulate two cards at your one to two cards at your opponent's hand, or you're swinging for 30 twice. That's it. Everything else is long shalong, just getting off the board. Like you have to pop something off the board. If your opponent manipulates every small body that you have on the board, you're not going nowhere with the effect that you need to go with Majin Buu. So I get why you put him at casual. I would have put him a little bit up, like maybe ahead of maybe like between Piccolo and Trunks. But like I said, I feel like we're in the meta that people already know how that deck is already played.
Yeah, there's no surprises from Majin Buu Evil. Like,
There is no surprise unless you're playing the Ginyu package.
yeah, like, like, oh, that leader again? You really? Okay.
No, because everybody's playing, and for some odd reason, everybody's playing the Ginyu package now. The Ginyu package is all over the place. Like it's
Yeah.
not. It's aggro is not it, man. I'm telling you guys, it's not it. It's not always
Yeah,
there. Baby was
but
there, and Baby fell apart, and now everybody playing Baby casual. Going aggro is not it anymore.
yeah, the format has definitely put into place that like mid range is where it's going to be at. There's still room for aggressive strategies. We have that in Daimaku. And we're going to see a lot of that battle out between these three specific yellow leaders here. We're looking at Janemba, we're looking at yellow Vegeta, we're
Hmm.
looking at yellow Frieza. Um, the funny thing about this set is it gave yellow such a high boost, and then we've seen almost the same decks across these three leaders. The only one that probably has a little bit of a different card pool would be Yellow Vegeta because it's more on the defensive end
Hmm.
of Yellow. And then on the aggressive side or the mid-range side, you have Janemba. And in terms of how we're gonna break this down, um, Janemba is just really strong. It can play the aggro package, it can do the mid-range strategy, and it doesn't lose anything across either version of that deck. I think Janemba is the best yellow deck in the game. It's the best deck in the color right now. And we're going to see that a lot on any type of level. Casual, whether it's a local, whether it's at an event, whether it's at a regional. Janemba is the deck you're going to see. It's going to be played, and it's going to be played in so many different versions that you have to prepare for both. You have the Ginyu package version, you have the mid range with a bunch of 10Ks and 5Ks, energy manipulation. You got the 4-drop secret rare Frieza that's basically unkillable. Um, it's just ridiculously strong. But
Yeah.
that's not to say these other two leaders can't do the same thing. I think Vegeta has a really good into Janemba. He's just, kind of still where he's at. Like, yes, it can adapt. He's a secret. Yes, you can throw the Janemba 3-drop into Vegeta. Yes, you can put the 5-drop Broly into Vegeta. But then you start running out of room for the other cards that made Vegeta what he was for me from set 2.5 on into the current meta. Um, I think he's still really good. I would put him in competitive events. Where I would put him, I don't know. A lot of the decks that we have in competitive events have gotten so much stuff that they can definitely counter the defensive side of Vegeta a little bit better. Um, so I think he's kind of like an unknown, but I still would expect to see him at a competitive event.
Me,
Um,
me personally, by looking at the deck pool that Vegeta has from before set 5 and with the addition that he's getting now compared to everything that all the cards that's coming out, I really feel like he fits in between the Vegito above Namek Goku because Namek Goku really runs a lot of the three cores bodies. And
mhm.
you know, Vegito loves to lock down those three cores bodies. So
Yeah, you
he
like to
got
blow them up with Final Explosion too.
Final Explosion. You got the what is it? The Death is it Death Ball or Death Beam? I keep pronouncing the
Death
name.
Ball that just rests it.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's just a lot. You
it's
have the
just
one drop Bulma that can do it too. There's just so
yeah.
many ways
So
to get past the board.
I definitely feel like he fits in between Vegito and the Namek Goku until we get more into set 5. I feel like that's what he fit because right now it's
Yeah.
up in the air when it comes to the Vegito.
I
Um,
mean the other thing too is Hell Rakasha, which was a card intended for Janemba, doesn't even really work in Janemba deck. Like it's just better in Vegeta. So
yeah, that's the one I read. You can restand an
it's
energy
it's
marker,
plus
right?
25 it's plus 25k and then you can rest mode any battle card. And I think it untaps an energy also.
No,
It's just
There's two cards that came out that does the same thing. One rests the body, and the other one restands the energy. And
yeah, Rakasha rests a body.
they both fits perfectly with the. That's what I'm saying. Like some of these cards that came out, they fit in every deck, but some of the leaders have the event. Like the 4-drop Frieza, the barrier fits
Hmm.
perfectly with the Janemba because Janemba will have the two energies up to use as effect. It'll definitely be good in the Vegeta because people's gonna try to apply pressure on him instead of a leader, so that you'll
Hmm.
try to avoid that. And then when it comes to Frieza, you could just restand him and he's untouchable. But to use the card to its full potential, Janemba got that card. But with the extra cards that came out, I feel like Vegeta got the upper hand because Vegeta is the defensive yellow, and with those support cards, probably just run like one of each, just to test it out. But I still
Yeah.
feel like the other cards like Time Rewound And the Death Beam is still definitely good to have in the deck, especially when you can recycle it with the one drop Boma.
Yeah. And then we have Yellow Frieza, which probably got some of the best cards this set. You have the new King Cold play, which is
Hmm.
basically 13 mana of energy that you can play for like 4 or 5. It is ridiculously strong. I think it gives Vegeta, Yellow Vegeta a little bit of a run for its money, if it can get that game plan executed.
Hmm.
So I think these two leaders are kind of interchangeable. I would put Frieza ahead of Vegeta, and it's literally by like a smidge. Um, you know, being able to restand your blockers and everything is just is good. And I think he just got even better with a lot of the new tools that he got uh, in the game right now. Um, Yellow's just really strong, and you have three really good decks for Yellow.
Yeah. The only thing that I don't like, Frieza's good. I like the whole restanding, but that puts you in a position that those two cards that you restand, if they're not blockers, you're wide open to get hit to straight lead. That's one thing that I don't like.
Hmm.
Like with the meta that we're in now, that a lot of leaders are going wide. For him to just have those two bodies to restand, and now there's nothing on the board that they can attack, becomes a problem. And then at the same time, is its support is 5K combos. All they're gonna do is just straight evens odds to odds, and you're gonna be stuck on gassing out everything out your hand, and you're screwed going into the end game. Like let's just picture Frieza going against Zamasu. He ain't gonna catch up to it. Zamasu's
No,
gonna walk all over him.
yeah,
But that's how I feel like Vegeta. It's better than Frieza. I get what you're saying with the whole support, but with the support when it comes to Yellow, it's zero combos of 5K, and that's what kills Yellow so much. And that's why I like
yeah,
Vegeta better, because it gets the two energy to stand up, so you can defend yourself, because you know they're gonna swing those 25K swing. Because even going for 25K swing, you have to burn two 5Ks out your hand. That's two cards come out your hand, because you know you're not
right.
running a lot of 10Ks. So
Hmm.
me personally, I feel like Vegeta's a little bit ahead of Frieza, but let's get a small discussion going with the best decks in the current format. Hmm,
Mm.
that is definitely interesting.
That's a good topic. I also see that he was like, what do we expect to see the most of out of all the best decks in the color? I
Right now,
think,
everybody's on. I'm not gonna lie. Right now, everybody's on the Janimba flow.
yeah,
Aggro Janimba's thing is just
yeah. I think if anything that's gonna be coming up, if there was a regional happening, there is one at the end of March, for example. I definitely expect to see a lot of the new, I mean, a lot of androids, SS4, Janemba, like all those 5 decks are gonna be there in a very high capacity. I think androids, because it's just still ridiculously strong, will probably see the most in terms of numbers. But I think also Daimaku is something that will match it in terms of those same numbers as well. Um,
but honestly, when it comes to Android 17, we're always gonna see a lot of Android 17 when it comes to regionals, because not because it's just strong, it's because it's easy to just build that deck and everybody just got comfortable with that deck just being strong, because you already know that you have to sit there and really think about what you're gonna put in the Zamasu deck, what you're gonna put in the Janemba, especially Janemba. You have so much potential cards to put in that deck that you don't even know what to play. So people's just trying to get the easy way out to get the easy wins, so-called easy wins, and go with Android 17 because you already know what it does. Ramping,
yeah,
get to A drop, swing 45, pop, and it's just the same. We already know what it does, and we just can't stop it 50-50 chance when you're playing against it. That's why
for
people's
sure.
not letting other, because I feel like this brackets that we have will be totally different if people try out different leaders. But since everybody wants to watch the regionals, right? They'll watch the regionals, see what was the top eight leaders, and that's what they're gonna go by. They don't care about nothing else. They're gonna go by whatever the four top 4 or 5 leaders, and they just run with deck building what they got, and they try to run with it in locals. Not even giving everybody else the chance to see how how the other deck will do. Because Yellow Vegeta, how many times you went to tournaments with Yellow Vegeta and you actually took it?
A lot.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because a lot of people don't expect Vegeta to actually be in the tournament. But when Vegeta's on the tournament, you know, people forget how that deck plays, and they lose to it, and they get upset. Oh, that leader's whack. Why is that leader whack? They
I, th-
you know, this
I
is
think a lot of it also has to do with, the time and dedication you put into a particular leader. You know, any of these leaders could be even better than what we say they are. It just takes someone dedicated enough to figure that out. Um, I appraise the person who takes starter Daima Blue Vegeta and actually tops with it at a regional. Like I would be like, what did you do? What secret gods did you pray to? How many goats did you sacrifice? Like,
yeah, that is a fact.
because
Christopher Cuevas. Janemba is gonna be the most seen for sure. That's good and bad at the same time. The good part that Janemba is a deck that can be played in two different ways, just like Baby. So you're gonna have to figure out what your leader, what your opponent's playing against it, and everything else. But so that gives you like a kind of an idea that you're gonna be screwed up because you don't know how they play in the deck. But the bad part about it is they're gonna get comfortable playing us that deck so many times that people's gonna end up knowing the weak spots of Janemba. Janemba's strong now is because people haven't played against it so much. Baby was the same thing when it came out, and look at where Baby is at right now. It's still strong, but we already know its weak spots and everything else. So I just feel like people just have to give it time to play against Janemba. Even if you're playing Janemba, you go 0 for 100. At least you start to understand how the Janemba leader and his staple cards functions to the point that maybe you're playing the wrong leader against it. That's all it is right now.
yeah, I mean, it's not hard to see what Janemba is weak against. If you look at the Janemba Daimaku 2 matchup, for example, Daima can just slam its guys straight into Janemba and not care about whatever Janemba was on.
Hmm.
If it opens up aggressive enough, that deck's gonna win. Um, it's not like 100% guaranteed that Daima's gonna win against Janemba. It's probably the strongest case of, these are probably the two decks in whatever triangle or whatever meta develops out of this. I definitely expect to see Daimaku and Yellow Janemba in that. Lately, that's what we've been having in Fusion, with the exception of Set 2, where we had a Tier 0 format. Almost every format has been like a strict triangle, with the other decks kind of fighting in the middle. Right now, I definitely think Daimaku and Janemba are part of that triangle. I think the third side of that is probably androids. And then you're going to see the Zamasters and the SS4s kind of like duke it out in the middle for that top spot.
Yeah. To be fair, everyone is on aggro Janemba. I think Android 17 will fold. Uh, it's 50-50 honestly, because Android is still strong. It's for a deck. Honestly, I see Bandai not trying to give nothing that can help 17 anymore, just for the simple fact that it's still running set two, set one, and set two cards on set two sports. That the minute they come out with at least one or two more cards to make that deck, it's gonna end up being in tier zero. That's how I feel. It's crazy. 5 sets in and it's still playing old cards from other sets that still making it so dangerous to play against.
It's because it got really good cards. Like,
Yeah,
that's what happens. Dude, it's almost the same. The same case can be made for in City Goku. Like, yeah, it's the most recent blue deck, between sets 3 and 4. But the cards that it got were so good that we're still seeing that deck being represented even today after a fifth set.
yeah. So, Zixto says, I just can't beat Janemba right now. I am playing GT Goku. Any tips? Hmm. I don't play GT Goku, honestly. I never got to sit down and actually test out GT Goku. Just never had the chance because I've been stuck on Bardock or the baby, and now trying to test out Gogeta. Never had the chance, but I don't know. It's just you're gonna have to.
Uh, it's one of those things where like that matchup is definitely a 50-50,
Yeah,
and it goes in either player's way based on what cards they open up and see over the course of the game. SS4 GT, like they could have like the perfect stream roll and see back-to-back four drops. Janemba can't really handle that. That's 30k pressure after 30k pressure after 30k pressure. You can only get rid of so many with your Frieza secret rare. And then once you've wasted resources getting past those secret rares, then GT just goes weenie rush and like punches you in the face. So it's very a lot of it is very dependent on the cards you see over the course of the match, and then you have to understand what version you're playing. You see that it's a mid-range version, you gotta adjust and start playing a mid-range battle back to back, and you enter what I like to call who's the aggro. And in card games, when you're trying to figure out who's the aggro, even in a mid-range versus mid-range, you have to figure out who is the more aggressive player. And if you can figure that out, whether it's your or your opponent, uh, you can then tailor your plays to kind of like put a stop to them so that you become the aggressor. It's not always over once a Frieza comes on the board, because you have to remember that they have to tap your energy to get. And if you're able to go wide, they're only able to get rid of it, and that's
yeah.
when you just go straight face into Janemba, because then you start wasting their hand. And once they waste their hand, you got to be that shark in blood infested waters and just keep trying to kill.
That's how
You
with
sometimes just have to ignore the Frieza. You just have to understand that card's gonna stay there, and then you
yeah.
just go straight for face.
You just gotta ignore the freezer honestly because that's what they're gonna try to do. They're gonna try to use scare tactics that they got the freeze on the board, and you're gonna try to attack at it. Don't attack at it. Just continue going straight. Um, just straight to leader. Just straight try to apply as much pressure as you can because they're gonna have to burn cards out the game. What does mid range means? I'm new to the game. Sorry.
No worries. So a mid-range strategy, mid-range is I was like, it's a deck that can play aggro and control at the same time based on how you play your cards out and the type of cards you put in your deck. So in card games, you have aggressive decks, you have control decks. Aggressive decks obviously summon a lot of cards, they swing right away. Control decks are more methodical, they're trying to force, trades, 2-for-1 trades, for example, or, 1-for-1 trades in a game. A mid-range deck is a deck that can pivot between the two. So something like SS4 Goku is a great example of a mid-range deck because you have aggressive cards and then you also have cards that can kind of slow the deck down or play at a particular tempo. And then you have something like Red Daimaku, for example, where you can either play it aggressively or you play it, mid-range where you go into the six drop on the other card. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna. Um, so that's all it is. You have your aggro, you have control, and mid-range.
Yeah, and then at the same time, if you look at Black definitely got a lot of support for set five. So like the spark, the one drop extra card that gives you a boost on the defensive side of 20k, and if you use the energy marker, you get to lock one of the your opponent's bodies on the board, and they can't swing.
Mm-hmm.
That slows down Janemba, and then also if your opponent uses Janemba, you know, try to go wide, you have the four drop extra card that pops one off the board, and if you use the energy marker, you just pop two off the board, and that's definitely good because there's no restrictions.
Oh yeah,
Um,
like Soul Punisher is a great board wipe.
mhm.
Um, there's just a lot of ways to handle so many different decks.
And I'm not even gonna lie, Soul Punisher is making Bardock double strike look like crap.
Yeah.
Honestly, because instead of burning two cards at your hand just to pop one body off the board, you're popping two just using an energy marker, and you still got your hand healthy. So that's another thing as well. Felipe Savage 15, appreciate the follow. Yo, Jeremy, I think Deadpool could be side by side with Zamasu. Same with Black Baby and GT Goku. In terms of how they could end up being. It sounds up. Yeah, it sounds about right. Because
Yeah, I mean, both
Zamasu played the
the
long
decks are
game.
good. You know, Zamasu just has a longer game, and if you look at like the nature of this set and how it affects the format, Zamasu is just better suited to handle that. And like,
But
you
I
know,
haven't seen that matchup yet. I definitely want to see that. Deadpool versus Zamasu to see how that goes. Aggro versus a long game matchup because that's a headache and a half. You got to put no time on that game because that game's gonna take forever.
it is Zamasu's big brain, man. Like,
Yeah, and then the SS4 Goku to the baby. You already know that's gonna be just straight chaos. It's World War III type of battle because it's just straight explosive. And
for
right now
sure.
with the two support cards that Baby got, you can still go with the aggro side because a lot of people still play the aggro side because they can't afford getting the SS4 Goku in the client or even when they go to local, so they still play the aggressive side. I told them if you don't got the SS4 Goku, don't try to play control because without that card you can't play control. So just play aggro and then you'll still be fine. You just start saving up your money if you really invest in the baby. Or if not, just go for even if you go for SS4 Goku. SS4 Goku is a staple card that you need in any of the black decks, honestly. So if you can't afford it, might as well just stick to baby or change color. that's
Yeah,
that's that's my valid opinion,
I,
honestly, because
I imagine it's a lot easier. You know, if finances are the issue, you know, it's probably a little easier to get these type of decks in the client. I just like I don't factor in the online client too much because one, I don't play it, and two, I think it's trash, and three, a lot of the cards don't work the way they're supposed to in the client as they're supposed to work in the in the real life card game.
well,
Um,
honestly, I play client a lot. You know that, and I go to locals. The rules, it's still the same. I'm not understanding where people are saying that the rules kind
oh,
of different.
there's been some instances where I've seen the 7 drop Goku Secret Rare be played against a 6 drop Golden Frieza,
So they probably fix it
and
because honestly, there's been a lot of like updates, like every
okay,
three
so maybe they
days.
fixed it.
So
I
they
don't
probably
know.
fixed it.
I'm talking about like when the set came out Friday, and I was watching like client matches. I was like, that's not supposed to work that way.
Nah, they probably
Uh,
just was happy about just dropping the new cards. I think that's what it was. Because a few days after that, they kind of did a lot of updates, and those updates actually helped out the thing. The only thing that I don't like about the client, and I feel like the timer is a little bit shorter than you playing at locals, because
yeah.
this 3 minute marker that you get for each, not even for each turn, because a lot of people's not understanding it. You get 3 minutes for the first turn that you got. Now the timer is going down. For the timer to go down, right? When you go to the next turn, it's clocking you on your opponent's side of his turn, depending on what your decision, what you're gonna do to respond to his attack, and then it goes down on your turn as well. And then when you do actually like respond quick, you're only getting 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds back, which is horrible. So that's why it's so hard. And a lot of people lose this game. I know I did. I seen a lot of matches that a lot of people lost. That the timer just kills the game, and just because you're looking at the timer, you're misplaying a lot. That's what I hate
Hmm.
playing about locals. And honestly, when hopefully when I do my tournament, I'm most likely gonna end up taking that timer off because I want people to play for their full potential. You can't play your full potential if you're playing with a timer like that. I'll probably still have a timer, but I'll probably just increase the timer because I feel like if locals is running tournaments at what 30 to 34 minutes, right? If I'm not mistaken.
It's usually 30 or 35, depending.
Yeah,
Like it's flexible.
30
At
to 35.
majors,
I feel like we're playing half of that.
yeah, at major events, they give you 35 plus the 5 minutes overtime. So really, it's like a 40-minute game. But for locals, it's at the TO's discretion.
Going to the chat. I've been testing Frost and Dimacool, and I don't lose to Yellow at all. Yeah, Yellow
I mean,
really
Frost
has
is a good
a.
card. Like if you hit the yellow matchup and they're playing the aggressive package, that Frost is gonna put in work. But if
Yeah,
they're playing the mid range package, you're gonna summon a Frost, and then the mid range that Frost.
but Yellow always had a problem going against Blue. Oh no,
sometimes.
Daimaku. Yeah, yeah, red. Oh, the Frost. Oh, I remember the Frost. The one that you can't swing for 20 Ks. Oh, that was
Yeah,
annoying. That was so
that's an
annoying.
annoying card. It was such a good card.
It's that. Le-
What do we think's gonna win the Eggman tournament? My prediction is Daimaku 2. So the new Daimaku leader, I think that's gonna win.
yeah, it's either gonna be Daimaku or Janemba. It's
Or
gonna be
Janemba. Yeah.
one or the other. Because the thing is that a lot of people gotta understand that yes, a lot of people always mention Vegito, but the thing is that a lot of people start losing faith when they start seeing that they dumping their super combos into the discard pile. That they be like,
High
damn,
risk, high reward.
and they just start losing themselves. And it's like, yo, it is what it is. Christopher says, what do you guys? Oh, yeah. And then Axel says, yeah, they fixed the issue with the Goku. Yeah, I guess that's what it was. They just finished dropping the cards and they didn't adjust the settings to the cards effects. So that's why I don't like playing the game when it first dropped the new cards because the effects are not fully like in effect in the game. If you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, and then Jeremy says, y'all seen Alternate Chila Super Combo price? Shit is 250. Yeah, everything's gonna be inflated right now, bro.
The buyouts are real.
Okay, so perfect example. The Dokken cards was $100 when they dropped. Look at them now, they $4. Literally $4. That's embarrassing, bro. I feel bad for anybody that caught those Dokkan battle cards and dropped $100. Even anything above $50. It was just crazy because now ain't none of them is what more than $10 a pop. The only one that's actually relevant is the 4-drop Goku because the 4-drop Goku is actually being played. They're not using a super. They're not using a 5-drop Bardock. They're using a 4-drop, and he still gets the double strike if you put him at 45. So and he's a
Hmm.
5K combo, so you're not losing a lot of cards. That's how I feel like SS4 Goku definitely is the better black leader compared to every other one because his support and it's locked and it's most of the cards is locked into him at that. The pan support, the SS4 support, it's just locked into him. Baby is
Yeah.
good, but it's just him. 45K. And the effect the lead effect to give somebody an extra 10 to 15K until your opponent next turn goes crazy. That part goes crazy.
Yeah, it's just a really strong leader. Like SS4 has definitely gotten the advantage of the card pool. I think Black overall, the card pool has just increased in terms of its value exponentially since they came out. At first it was almost the same type of cards, and then they differentiated itself with Baby Vegeta, and then they added Gogeta this set, and now there's just so many really good cards in Black. Like it's amazing how good Black has gotten.
Zixto say, hey bro, locals is non-existent. Where I'm at, I'm buying cards that's probably never going to use. Max rarity. The client is all I have. I get it, bro. It just fell off. When Set 2 came out, it was a build up. Set 1 was a build up, and then when Set 2 came out with the whole Top Cool incident, a lot of people just started leaving the game because it was just broken. If you're not playing Top Cool, don't even try to play anything else. And then we're just trying to pick up the pieces from there. But we just gotta, I guess at least the client is free and you can actually grind on it. And you'll find tournaments to play. Eggman guys tournaments. I got my tournament. There's other people hosting their own tournaments. You just gotta, I guess, go grind as much as you can. I'm just waiting for it to drop for all cross platforms. That's the only thing that I'm waiting for. Right now, it's gonna drop for the Mac. See how that goes, and then hopefully they start dropping it for P5 and Xbox and stuff like that. How much is the one cost Boma? I'm buying some today. I don't know what Boma he's talking about. I still play.
The the one called Salt Art. It's the only one that comes in an alt art.
Okay, I still play Bardock Double Strike to be honest, and GT Goku. Yeah, yeah, Jeremy, because it's you. You just like to test everything out. I won't be surprised that you're playing the Legend card as well in the SS4 Goku deck. Not too crazy about the 4 cost Double Strike. Christopher wish Zamasu actually played that Dokken Zamasu. It don't.
I mean, the Dokkan Zamasu is just not a good card. So there's that.
The Dokken Zamasu, I never got the chance to read that card. What does it do?
It's just an alternate art of the older Forge from the previous set.
Don't tell me it's the one that if you pop it off the field, it comes back in rest mode. That's not the one, right?
Don't know. I just know it wasn't worth looking at.
Chris, I got 2 copies of it in my bank's Zamasu list. Join Fumble Fusion World Discord, webcam every night. Really, Goku Black, to be honest, really I see it more in Goku Black. Yeah, alright. And look, Zixto, if you got Discord, there you go. Somebody just posted it up. Fumble Fusion World Discord. They actually play webcam games. I don't even be trusting those webcam games. Listen, man, I just had a situation yesterday. People got into my stream to see what cards I was playing to actually beat me. If they doing it on a client, just imagine playing on webcam. I'm not playing webcam. I'm sorry. Unless it's against my boys that I know they're not gonna be on their nonsense. But if it's playing against random people and there's something on the line, especially when it comes to tournaments, I'm not gonna trust anybody because anybody could just finesse on cheating, and it's not gonna get caught on time. So it is.
What? Stream sniping? Who does that?
That's it. Stream sniping in every game. I'm telling you, it's
Ninja
crazy.
gets stream sniped in Fortnite. It's so much fun. Yeah.
Word. But yeah, so this is our tier list, I guess, for now until regionals come out and about, and then see what we gotta do.
Yeah, just remember, this is just like open for discussion. I'm not saying this is the definitive tier list. This is just what I have off of personal testing, tournament data from the locals here, at least in New York City, on what's won and what's being played and what's been doing well. That's where this information comes from, and then a lot of it is also just knowledge. I read cards, something most card players don't do. So there's that.
Goku Black, baby, Goku Black.
Yeah.
Small
One day,
numbers.
maybe. We never know. We never know.
Oh man, that is hilarious. Besides that, if you guys have any other questions, you guys could just hit up the chat. If not, if I do go offline, you guys could definitely hit up my Discord. My Discord is The Last Snow. I think you gotta type in pound first, pound, and then The Last Snow. Send me a friend request invite, and then I could just put you into my Fusion World chat, community chat. So like that, you can actually be updated on anything that's Fusion World related, into deck building, into rules and regulations. Also with like tournament wise, if we try to host tournaments online, you guys can actually tune in for that as well. Trying to see something. Where is this picture? One second. Trying to look for something. I can't see it on my end. You said link it. Link what? My Discord. So guys, for everybody that's tuning in on YouTube, definitely try to follow my boy OmegaZed on his YouTube channel. He definitely posts his day by day, or week by week. How many videos you be dropping, bro?
I don't know. I drop them whenever the hell I feel like. I am not consistent at all.
Anyone going to LA regionals, I'll be there. Wait, LA regional is the one next month, right?
That's the one at the end of March, yeah.
And it's crazy because I'm about to request vacation time for that weekend. So if I get that, then yeah, I'll probably put. Oh no, wait, hold on. Ain't the prices to the flights are crazy right now?
The flights are crazy right now, bro. I was looking at flights for that region. Like I wanted to leave Thursday so I can play in the Friday regionals and come Monday, and the flights that I was able to find that were reasonable we're still like almost 400 or 500 round trip. Like I was like, I'm just not doing it.
Yeah, that's too much to go down there for just one day. Is just go crazy. Um, Jeremy said we should do a bad leaders tournament. We should. We should definitely do that. And I guarantee you, Goku Black is gonna come out on top. Yo, I can't. Hey Snow, you should do a stream playing GT Goku. I could definitely do that tomorrow. I'll try to see what I could build up for the Goku, and then try to see how that functions. Because honestly, I never had the chance to actually sit there to build a Goku deck and then try to play it. What about you?
Talking about me?
Yeah, you ever played the Goku GT? I never had the chance to actually play that deck. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, I had the black cards for a while. I didn't do anything with them until Baby Vegeta came out. So
Yeah, I never, because when it came out, I was on Bardock, and then Baby came out, and now Gogeta. I just basically skipped out that chain reaction, but I'll definitely try to test it out. It's just, every black deck, if you don't got, the 4-drop Goku, you're not gonna go far, because I feel like that is the best card in black right now, because it gives you the draw power, it gives you the energy marker, and it's a 30k swing. Even though it's a zero combo, but it's definitely a good card to have anyways. You skipped every leader after Bardock. Snow, shush. I hate you. I hate you for that. Snow, if anything, we could do a video with you facing my GT Goku. Yeah, we could definitely do that. We could do that on Friday. We could definitely do that on Friday. You got GT Goku, I'll play Goku Black, and we all good. If your followers are interested in the deck, yeah, we could definitely do that. Friday we'll do the live. Was it Friday? We decided on Friday or Saturday. I think it was Saturday. We said that we're gonna decide to do it before we go to Waypoint to test out and do some videos. Yeah, I gotta see. Hmm. But anyways, let me see if I can find what I'm looking for. There you go. This is what I was looking for. Hopefully everybody can see it. So for anybody that's interested, this Friday the tournament registry opens. The tournament's for this Sunday coming up, 12 p.m. Eastern time. I gotta say 12 p.m. Eastern time because some of you guys are not actually on the East Coast. Some of you guys are probably watching it from the other side of the world, the other side of the states, and the time differential is kind of different. So it's 12 p.m. Eastern time.
anyone watching from the moon?
Yeah, anybody watching from the moon, from Alaska, DR, with the buffering internet. But registry is free. Discord appliance. Basically, you gotta be on the Discord chat, so like that we can set up all the brackets, so like that once you go to the client, you know who you're gonna face against, and you guys don't make the mistake in going into the wrong bracket into the tournament to face the wrong person. The prizes just there. S3, S4, and S5 codes. First place gets 100 codes. Second place gets 50 codes, and third place gets 30 codes. There's a mixture of the 3, 4, 5 codes. So if you guys are interested, the registry will open on Friday. I will put it on my stories, and when I stream on Friday, I'll definitely let you guys know that the tournament is actually up and running for you guys to register. So if you guys are interested, it's just to get you guys playing and everything else, because some of you guys don't play at locals. But if you guys are interested, there it goes. I'll leave it right on the screen. Omega, I don't know if you gotta leave, but me and Omega did the best that we can. And hopefully you guys enjoy the tier list. Like I said, and like he said, it's not our final. It's not finalized, because the new leaders are still being played, and we just gotta wait and see what people actually play, and we won't know until live regionals, not client regionals, because a lot of people's getting it confused. Yeah, because a lot of people's getting it confused that we talking about client regionals. Client regionals is totally different when you're playing live. Live, you'll actually see it next month. You'll see probably like about how many regions gonna be popping off next month? I mean, yeah, next month. Probably.
So at the event that is happening in LA, two Fusion World Regional, one on Friday and there's one on Sunday at that event. Because they shoved like the whole Nationals World Battle Hour thing into that weekend schedule. Um, so it's at the end of March. It's going to be at the Pasadena Convention, and I know that they have a Fusion World Regional Friday, and then there's also like a Masters region.
Yeah, and I know there's gonna be other regions like in different countries as well. Not in the same weekend, but we'll see most of them as well. So we'll see like the ratio of leader percentage of who's actually the top tier leader when it comes down to finalizing who's the better leader from all the colors combined. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. So you guys could actually do right now is just keep testing the leaders that you guys have now. If you guys play on the client or you guys actually play at your local spots, just continue playing. Um, there's no finalized deck list for any of these leaders right now. Everybody's just testing out all these cards to see what fits best, and then just continue on grinding, and hopefully you guys don't quit and just continue running with us. Yeah, so for everybody to, before I let you guys go, just wanted to let you guys know that I appreciate you guys for tuning into my channel. Um, actually being here with me and Omega. Everybody on YouTube and on Twitch. If you guys are new to my channel, press that follow button on both channels. Make sure you guys go to his YouTube channel, OmegaZed. Follow him as well on the YouTube channel. And then, I hope I see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I'll back on stream again, 2 p.m. Eastern time. If you guys want to tune in again and see me grind, hopefully, I'm not matched up again with somebody that actually likes to see my hand while I'm playing to actually beat me. But it is what it is. But Omega, appreciate you for tuning in with this tier list with me. And yeah, thank you for tuning into my channel, and I see you guys in the next one.
Later, y'all.
Later.